Senator Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to offer the A6 amendment.
Senator Jasinski offers the A6th amendment. The Secretary will report the A6th amendment.
Senator Jasinski moves to amend House File Number 3436 as amended pursuant to Rule 45 as follows. Page 23, line 13, strike or. This is the A6 amendment.
Senator Jasinski, to your A6th amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is an amendment I also tried to offer in committee that got voted down, but I'd like to try again today because I think it's an important amendment. Currently, by law, if you have more than 5 unpaid parking tickets, your car can be towed. What my amendment would do is say that if you have 5 unpaid parking tickets within a year, that you can be towed. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Dibble to the A6 Jasinski amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for the A6 amendment, Senator Jasinski. Yes, we had a great debate and conversation. This is on a bill that was brought to us by Senator McEwen, part of an ongoing effort that this legislature has been working on to try to address the collateral consequences and some of the issues that present for people when the sanction that they suffer, the consequence that they suffer, actually moves us away from our shared goal of making sure that people have access to things like transportation so that they can get to jobs and treatment options and all sorts of other things. I think the bill, as Senator McEwen presented to us, made a lot of sense, and it was very, very thoughtful. I respect the perspective of Senator Jasinski and believes that there might be a circumstance in which towing the vehicle is warranted. I think Senator McEwen, however, made a good case that we have a consequence that's completely disproportionate to the nature and the kind of offense, and in fact drives down the ability for us to collect on these parking violations and doesn't really advance any public purpose or public policy goal to create those kinds of sanctions that are totally disproportionate and misaligned with the nature of the violation. Mr. President, I would request a roll call on the A6 and request a no vote. Thank you.
Roll call requested, roll call granted. Any other discussions before we go to the author of the A6 amendment? Seeing none, the last voice that we'll hear before voting will be that of Senator Jasinski, the author of the A6 amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, so we tried to reach this out in committee, but again, so the way Senator McEwen's bill reads is you can have an unlimited number of unpaid parking. You can have 1,000 unpaid parking tickets and they can't tow your car. Remember, something is wrong with that. By the language Senator McEwen has, there is an unlimited amount of unpaid parking tickets before you can be towed. You cannot be towed with an unpaid parking ticket, no matter how many you have. It's 1,000, whatever. We talk about law and rules being abided by in the state of Minnesota. If you're not going to give any teeth to a law, why do it? And this was a simple language that would give 5 unpaid parking tickets within 1 year that you can tow that vehicle. Please vote green on this vote. Thank you, Mr. President.
The Secretary will take the roll on the A6 Jasinski amendment. Members, please vote. Senator Kunesh, for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
Mr. President, Senator McEwen votes no.
Senator McEwen votes no.
Senator Port votes no.
Senator Port votes no.
Senator Putnam votes no.
Senator Putnam votes no.
And Senator Dziedzic votes no.
And Senator Dziedzic votes no. Senator Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Anderson votes aye.
Senator Anderson votes aye.
Senator Draheim votes aye.
Senator Draheim votes aye.
Senator Miller votes aye.
Senator Miller votes aye.
Senator Utke votes aye.
Senator Utke votes aye.
Senator Eichhorn votes aye.
Senator Eichhorn votes aye.
Senator Weber votes aye.
Senator Weber votes aye.
And thank you, Mr. President. Senator Lang votes aye.
And Senator Lang votes aye. All senators having voted who desires to vote, the Secretary will close the roll. There being 30 ayes and 34 noes, the A6 Jasinski amendment is not adopted. Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to offer the A17.
Senator Lucero offers the A17 amendment. The Secretary will report the A17 amendment.
Senator Lucero moves to amend House File Number 3436 as amended pursuant to Rule 45 as follows. Page 22, line 9, reinstate the stricken language. This is the A17 amendment.
Senator Lucero to your A17 amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is along the same topic that Senator Jasinski just attempted to change, but in a different angle. This is to say that if you have 100 unpaid parking tickets, then you can be towed. Mr. President, you heard me. 100. Is that reasonable? Should a person have their vehicle towed after thumbing their nose 100 times? I think, Mr. President, the answer is clearly yes. And I know that we all agree. And because of that, Mr. President, I would ask for a roll call and a green vote. Thank you.
Roll call requested, roll call granted. Senator Dibble, for your thinking or thoughts on the A17 amendment.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Appreciate the thoughtful amendment offered by my esteemed colleague, Senator Lucero, in the A17. Kind of getting back to the arguments that were made to support the idea in the first place. Again, I'm not sure what's happening exactly when someone has. I think we've got a different problem going on when someone racks up 100 parking tickets. Not sure that this is connected to anything that is actually experienced out there in the real world. I also wanted to mention that there are mechanisms to collect on these parking tickets when they're not paid through other means, and that does happen. And like I said before, in the real circumstances, when people are working hard to pay off a number of parking tickets, to tow their vehicle and take them away from their ability to go to their jobs. Remember, a lot of times these are folks who are working service-oriented jobs. If they can't get to their job, they lose their job, and then where are we as a community and as a society? So the spirit in which the bill was offered was very serious, and it was about really addressing the challenges that people face in their lives and trying to do well by people and trying to help people do better in their lives. And so I think it's the underlying bill is well advised, and I would ask for a no vote on the A17 and ask us just to reflect on the intent and purpose and the seriousness with which this bill was brought to us in the first place. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any other discussion on the A17 before we vote? The author of the amendment will be allowed the last voice before we vote. Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, that's disappointing to hear that there is opposition to a cap of 100. With that, Mr. President, I, as the author of this amendment, would like to make an orals amendment.
Senator Lucero offers an oral amendment. What's the amendment to the amendment?
Thank you, Mr. President. On line 1.5, where it reads 100, I would like to add a 0 and have that read 1,000.
The Secretary will report the amendment to the amendment.
Senator Lucero moves to amend the A17 amendment as follows. Page 1, line 5, delete 100 and insert 1,000.
Senator Lucero, to your A17 amendment to the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, if we can't have a cap of 100, certainly somebody who has thumbed their nose and parked illegally 1,000 times should be a reasonable cap. With that, I would encourage a green vote on my oral author's amendment.
Any other discussion on the amendment to the amendment? Was a roll call requested, or that's from the other? Senator Friends. Senator Friends, then I'll go to Senator Dibble.
Mr. President, I request a roll call.
Roll call requested, roll call granted. Senator Dibble.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just returned to my previous comments, and we could be here all day. Could talk about 5,000, 10,000, a million tickets. But I just return us to the hearing that we had and the consideration of the matter and the serious and thoughtful proposal that Senator McEwen had in front of us to help people and to do well by people and advance a public purpose and the public's interests to benefit the community. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any last comments? Seeing none from Senator Lucero, the Secretary will take the roll on the amendment to the amendment. Members, please vote. Senator Kunich, for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
Senator Port votes no.
Senator Port votes no.
Senator McEwen votes no.
Senator McEwen votes no.
Senator Dietzig votes no.
Senator Dietzig votes no.
And Senator Putnam votes no.
Senator Putnam votes no. Senator Jasinski, for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Anderson votes aye.
Senator Anderson votes aye.
Draheim votes aye.
Senator Draheim votes aye.
Senator Miller votes aye.
Senator Miller votes aye.
Senator Utke votes aye.
Senator Utke votes aye.
Senator Eichhorn votes aye.
Senator Eichhorn votes aye.
Senator Weber votes aye.
Senator Weber votes aye.
And thank you, Mr. President. Senator Lang votes aye.
And Senator Lang votes aye. All senators having voted who desires to vote, the Secretary will close the roll. There being 27 ayes and 37 noes, the amendment to the amendment is not adopted. Members, we are on the underlying amendments. Senator Lucero.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. That's disappointing that we can't have a cap of at least 1,000, but now we're back to 100. So, Mr. President, we have a roll call on the underlying amendment. I would encourage a green vote. Thank you.
And just for clarity, there was a roll call requested on the underlying amendment. Any other discussion before we vote? There seeing none, the Secretary will take the roll on the A17 amendment. Senator Kunich, for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
Senator Port votes no.
Senator Port votes no.
Senator McEwen votes no.
Senator McEwen votes no.
Senator Putnam votes no.
Senator Putnam votes no.
And Senator Dietzig votes no.
And Senator Dietzig votes no. Senator Jasinski, for those voting pursuant to Rule 40.7.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Anderson votes aye.
Senator Anderson votes aye.
Senator Draheim votes aye.
Senator Draheim votes aye.
Senator Miller votes aye.
Senator Miller votes aye.
Senator Utke votes aye.
Senator Utke votes aye.
Senator Eichhorn votes aye.
Senator Eichhorn votes aye.
Senator Weber votes aye.
Senator Weber votes aye.
And thank you, Mr. President. Senator Lang votes aye.
And Senator Lang votes aye. All senators having voted who desires to vote, the Secretary will close the roll. There being 30 ayes and 34 noes, the A17 Lucero amendment is not adopted. Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to offer the A14.
Senator Lucero offers the A14 amendment, and the Secretary will report the A14 amendment.
Senator Lucero moves to amend House File Number 3436 as amended pursuant to Rule 45 as follows. Page 8, after line 31, insert. This is the A14 amendment.
Senator Lucero to your A14 amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. There is a disturbing and growing trend